And just like that, it's 6 minutes after 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. And if it is 9:06, and if it's Monday morning, it is time for ColaTown. Episode 2. We just launched ColaTown last week. Had a great program, and wishing you a wonderful start to your Monday. My name is Kevin Cohen. We're together from now until 10 o'clock here at The Point, and really excited to get after it. This is a program, and we'll get into our guests in just a moment, but this is a program. Our goal, our intent for this, our mission statement, if you would, is to remind folks about our city, our stories, and to talk about the city, talk about all the different things that go on, a lot of the activities going on, a lot of the events that are coming up, things like that, but also kind of what makes the city tick from inside out. And maybe you don't get a chance to meet some of the folks that are with various departments and with various groups and things like that within the city of Columbia. So our goal for the program is to bring different people on from all parts of the community. And today we're going to have an opportunity to talk with a couple of folks. I'm really excited about this in the first half because we're going to have the opportunity to talk with Chief Christopher Kipp, who's with us, and also a firefighter, Chad Reinkens, who's here with us, and maybe give other people a chance to become part of that community. So first, Chief and Chad, hi, guys. Welcome in. Thank you for coming into The Point and for coming into ColaTown. Happy New Year.
Good morning. Happy New Year. Super excited to be here.
Happy to have you both here with us. So got to ask you, are you nervous being on the radio?
Oh, slightly, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Come on, we're all family around here. We get along. It's going to be great. I told you guys this, but I want people to hear it. This is personal to me. Having firefighters in the studio is almost emotional. I don't have a tie to firefighting. I don't have a history. Thank God I've never had a situation where someone had to come and put a fire out of my house or anything like that. It's just so personal to me because I have such immense respect for what you do. Firefighters, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but from my heart, I don't see firefighters doing this because they get rich doing it. I don't see they get famous doing this. It's got to be a calling. It's got to be something that you guys do to serve other people. And again, I remind our listeners on a regular basis, gentlemen, that while the rest of us are scattering in fear, you guys are running toward danger and running to save lives and help people and save property and save I'm just in awe of what you do. And I say this from my heart. Thank you. And we love you guys and we appreciate you guys. Genuinely appreciate you and try so hard to remind our listeners here at The Point to not take you guys for granted. So thank you. Mean it from my heart.
We really appreciate that introduction.
Well,
thank you. And welcome.
Yeah, I thank you for that. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys do. First, we'll start with you, Chief, and tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the game, and how long you've been here in Columbia, and all that kind of stuff.
Well, thanks. I grew up in Columbia and got into firefighting kind of by accident. I had a totally different trajectory. Started going, driving back and forth to little jobs, going past a volunteer firehouse, and one day I noticed they had a sign that they needed help. And I thought, well, I have time. I like helping people. I'll go give it a shot. And I thought maybe I'd do it for 6-9 months. And now 29 years later, here I am. And gone through all the ranks, have had incredible opportunities, have seen incredible things, and been able to help a lot of people.
You know, when you think about how it all happened, how it all started, and just the one reason you gave, other than the convenience of driving past this place over and over again, was I want to help people. And so, again, it kind of goes to that calling. You get a calling to say, this might be something that I can do. But it still takes a certain mindset to be able to do it. I mean, it's not for everybody, obviously. Even if someone wants to be a helper and look after other people, it's still not meant for everybody.
It's definitely not, especially in this day and time, right, where our culture is built on getting advantage, making more money, taking advantage of this or that. And firefighting is different. Our success is based on, like we were saying, just helping
right.
people, and there's an opportunity to make a difference in someone's life every day.
You know, the idea that you've been at this now for, as you said, 29 years. Mm-hmm. First of all, it doesn't show on you. So that's the compliment of the day. Is this is radio, but while I have a face for radio, you got your look still, you got your youth still. So it's been good to you despite the hours and the years you've put in. Let me bring in Chad Reinkens and Chad, how long you been a firefighter, and tell us why you became a firefighter.
I've been a firefighter for 1 month. My wife and I had just moved here from Seattle.
Really?
Yeah, and she got a good job offer out here.
Uh-huh.
And my background's in construction. I had no idea what I was going to do when I moved out here, and I saw that the Columbia Richland Fire Department was hiring. I thought that might be a cool way to make a difference, get the chance to help people, and so I applied.
You know, I'm fascinated by the obvious difference between basically, and don't take this disrespectfully, Kip, but a lifer versus a newbie.
Right.
And I guess we call him a probie in the TV sense.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
I earned that title.
I
Yeah.
call him a firefighter.
Yeah, he's earned it now to be firefighter Chad, but you know,
Chad.
yeah, probie Chad. But the thing is, though, you were looking for something. You were looking for that to fill that gap, and obviously, you needed a job, you needed work. I understand that. But you have gotten involved, and you're becoming part of this group. Talk to me about what it feels like, Chad. And I want to ask you from a new standpoint versus going to the chief. But from a new standpoint, what's it like to come into this brotherhood and feel like you're part of something bigger?
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it really is. Because, like you just gave the speech about how much you respect the fire department. We get a lot of love, and me just starting out don't feel like I deserve it. You know, that's been built off the backs of everybody that came before me. So I'm just trying to uphold that standard for everybody else.
Have you been out to any fires yet?
I have, sir.
You deserve it. Period. End of story. Simple as that.
Agreed.
Yeah. And once you've put yourself on the line for me, I love you. I appreciate you. Simple as that. You don't have to have 30 years to risk your life, because all it takes, unfortunately, is one bad day, and that could be it. So thank you. Yeah,
thank you.
I'm getting a lump in my throat just talking about it. I want to talk about why you guys are here today, because we're going to do a break in a minute, and then we're going to focus more on the recruitment aspect of it. But how did you hear about the job, Chad?
Facebook.
Yeah. So, what's interesting is social media. I'm, of course, today using the radio to talk about the opportunities, but you guys have opportunities available for people. Mm-hmm. So I want to focus on that in the second half of the visit. Now that you're doing it, how was the training? Take me through a little bit about what you went through.
The training's brutal. It was a good experience because 25 of us started out, and by the end of it, there was only 17. And whether that be for health reasons or the testing, honestly, gets a lot of people.
Well, you have to weed out. I mean, no disrespect to anybody who started off in that 25 that didn't make it. They tried, but I mean, you got to weed out to make sure you got the right qualifications, the right personality, and obviously the right physical abilities too.
Yeah, and it's a particular challenge because we're trying to prepare people for not only what could be the toughest day of their life, but really be prepared for the toughest day of their life for the next 28 years.
Yeah.
So it's every kind of we press every kind of physical challenge on them and skill challenge, and really do put them through a hard time, but to make them safe and effective firefighters.
Love it. Hold tight, gentlemen. We're going to do a break. Come on back. We'll talk a little bit more about what you guys are doing, and then give people the opportunity to learn more about how they can join the team. Stick around. This is ColaTown on the Point. Welcome back into ColaTown. So glad you are with us on this, a Monday morning. Kev with you until 10 o'clock, and excited that we're hanging out together. We've got a couple of great folks in the studio right now. We've got Chief Christopher Kipp, who's on board from the Columbia Fire Department, and also Firefighter Chad Reinkens, who's here with us. And these gentlemen are at two different ends of the spectrum. One's put in a lifetime of work, 29 years, and in this profession, and the other one has a month under his belt. And hopefully it's the first of many, many safe months for you, but really a blessing to have you both here with us. So thank you again for coming on in and hanging out with me. I love having you here.
Thank you.
So we've got a few minutes here. You know, the temptation, Chief Kip, is to let's hear some stories. That's the kid in me wants to come out and say, tell me this and tell me that. It's not a glamorous thing. This involves life and death, and this involves property, and this involves saving people. But I mean, over the course of 3 decades almost of doing this, does anything surprise you anymore? You know, do you still come up against things you haven't seen before?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Well, and we won't get into this, but now I'm in administration.
Right.
And the kind of surprises in administration, those administrative fires
Right.
are always a surprise.
Those are harder to put out sometimes than actual fires, huh?
Yeah. But on the street, there's all. It would be unfair to say you're not surprised,
Sure.
because that would just mean that you're closed off,
Right.
And you're not
Desensitized,
yeah. Right? And I'd be interested, Chad. What's been your most interesting call in the past month?
Hands down, it was the single-family home that we showed up to, and fire was pushing out of all the windows. It was intense to see up close. You know, you don't really get the chances like on the civilian side.
Right.
You have to be in the
There's
job.
only so much you can train for.
Yeah, exactly.
And you want to simulate as best you can, but at the same time, obviously, there are things you're going to encounter in the field, and I'm sure you prepare them for that, no matter how much you simulate, you can't fully prepare someone until they see it for themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
How fast was your heart pumping?
Oh, very, very quickly. Yeah. It's weird, though, because you fall back on your training, and everything's just kind of muscle memory at that point, so the recruit school did a good job for me,
awesome.
At least.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. Doesn't mean you have all the answers. Doesn't mean you're not going to get better with wisdom and age and more experience.
Absolutely.
Because we all hopefully continue to learn and grow with that. How long have you been on the administrative side, Chief?
About 5 years now.
Okay, so in that respect, now you're seeing a whole new generation of firefighters come along. And you know what's interesting is the game has changed. I mean, clearly the game's changed. I used the term brotherhood earlier, and I probably should have been more open to the fact that it's not just guys. There's gals, and it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, here's my question, and then I want to get into the recruitment side. Mm-hmm. When you watch these TV shows that are shows about, do they make you angry or do they make you feel good? Do they do them a justice? Or because some of them show tragedy, some of them show it's not always wins. But do they bother you?
They don't bother me, but when people watch those, they need to know that all that stuff really does happen.
Right.
But it's not compressed in 30 minutes.
Right.
It's stretched over months or years.
Yeah.
But that there is no limit to the creativity of how people mess up.
Right.
And that's why the fire service is here, to go out and help. You're talking about recruitment,
sure,
and you're talking about how it's a brotherhood, but it's men and women, it's people from all kinds of backgrounds,
right?
And
all walks of life,
all walks. And it's kind of interesting because one thing that Chad mentioned in his interview when he was interviewing was that he had a history in shotcrete, which is blasting concrete out of fire hoses.
Wow!
And I immediately thought, oh, we need him because he has something that one wouldn't think is applicable to fire service, but you know, definitely useful. And that's one message is if someone is any interest in the fire service, no matter what their background, that background can be useful.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. We're recruiting right now. We're looking for the right people to come and join the fire department here in the city of Columbia. Who are we looking for? What type of person? I don't mean necessarily personality traits, but what are you looking for when you describe, hey, this is a good potential recruit?
Yeah, good question. Chad, what do you think makes a good recruit? What makes a recruit succeed?
Determination. How do I put it? The unwillingness to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Not willing to fail.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and I would describe it as it is definitely determination. And when we're looking for applicants, we look for people with who we think can be self-disciplined and who are responsible, who have a certain mental focus, certain physical fitness. But what we really look for is heart, and that's the same kind of thing. It's determination is paired with that, but it's the heart to not only go out and make a difference to someone else, but do that no matter what the circumstances are.
You know, there's a lot that you could measure about a recruit, from physical aspects and even psychological testing and things like that. But there are certain things that you just got to talk to a man or talk to a woman and say, tell me about you and tell me about this and kind of the first word that came up was determination from Chad. I loved hearing that was your first word that entered your mind. It does take a certain mentality, a certain mindset, and it's just not for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also we don't pigeonhole. It can be, like I said before, it can be people. We have construction workers, we have teachers, we have people with PhDs, we have people with GEDs, and everyone comes together to make. We need everybody with all kind of backgrounds to make the kind of team.
Sure.
We need.
Well, let's talk about, right now we got a blank slate of who's listening right now to the radio and to listen to ColaTown right now. If there's somebody that's listening, who are you talking to? In other words, you mentioned you could be working in a completely different profession right now and feeling like, I'm banging my head against the wall. This just isn't for me. This isn't my calling. This isn't what I'm meant to do. This sounds pretty interesting. What kind of immediate qualifications do they have to have?
Well, really, as far as stuff on paper, they need at least a GED, high school graduation, whatever. And they need to have a certain level of physical fitness, certain level of mental focus.
Right.
But really, the bottom line is heart.
Desire.
And a desire to make a difference in someone else's life.
Yeah.
And that can be, like Chad said, going up to a house fire where fire's coming out of all the windows, and their job is to put the fire out, to find anybody that's trapped. But it can also be to kneel down next to someone with trouble breathing and hold their hand and say, I'm here.
Right.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. That's changed a lot. The firefighting has changed a lot in terms of the teaching of empathy and compassion and the role that you can play. It's not just who could be the toughest, gruff guy out there, like what we've seen in some of these TV shows or movies or things like that. It's got a lot to do also with understanding. You almost have to be part psychologist or psychiatrist with some of the people that you might encounter as those who are going, because they're at their most vulnerable they're ever going to be probably in their life when their house has just been on fire and they barely escape with their life, and they don't know who's out, who's not out. They don't know about the pets. They don't know about the kids. They don't know about their most valuable possessions if they're ever going to see any. I mean, talk about a level of vulnerability.
Yeah, and I think Chad mentioned, arriving at a structure fire, most people in their typical life don't see a house fire. And here he's called to be there. And so it's not only do we have the opportunity to, we're pulled into people's worst days. Right. And that's a very humbling experience. Yeah.
If you're just joining us, we're talking with Chief Christopher Kipp from the Columbia Fire Department and Firefighter Chad Reinkens, and I'm enjoying our visit very, very much. I'm thinking about what over 29 years in the game and understanding all the changes you've seen. Some of the things that are interesting that have changed probably also have been from a technology standpoint of what you have available to help you do the job and response times, things like that. Also just out in the field. What's been some of the big changes that have occurred over your career in that respect?
Well, one big thing, just one item of technology is something called a thermal imager. And that when I started, there was no such thing. It's a camera that allows you to see the heat outline of like a person trying. Right. And we debated about whether we should get one or not. And now, like Chad has one on his self-contained breathing apparatus. So all of our firefighters have one. So it's interesting because when I started, there was no conception of it, and now it's kind of just
standard issue.
Take for granted, right?
Yeah. That's fascinating. So what does that allow you to do? It allows you to see who's where in a house during the heat or what?
No, not necessarily. It does let you see, because it can't look through walls, but you can see the heat pattern. So you can see how hot it is, and it's got a temperature gauge on it.
Anything that makes the job a little easier, obviously.
Yeah, and it will show an outline of a person in certain circumstances.
Yeah. I look at what you guys are doing, and I think about what we can do to make the job easier for you. And most people in this community, and obviously, Chief, you'll be able to speak to this a lot more than Chad, who's only been on the job for a little while, but this community, more so than a lot of other communities, is very supportive of first responders. I've seen that over the years. Most people, certainly post 9/11, I think a lot of people around the country became big fans of firefighters and realized a little bit more about what you guys do versus than what you didn't do. But as time has gone on, obviously a whole generation has passed now since 9/11, so a lot of people won't have a recollection of that. But I really do feel like Columbia is a first responder friendly community, don't you?
I agree, and I think a lot of it might have to do with our fire chief, Chief Aubrey Jenkins.
Jenkins, yeah,
because he has a community mindset, and that that rolls down. So we are all focused on engaging the community any way we can. We are firefighters on the street. We have lots of opportunities where they go to schools, they go to community events in non-emergency situations. And
Sure.
that's where we start getting the trust of our citizens, and that's the basis for what we do. Because when we go into emergency, we have to be. It's the bottom line.
We got about a minute left before we turn you guys loose. How do people find out more? What do you suggest they do if they are if we've piqued their interest? What is a good way for people to get involved? Either one of you.
Yeah, well, it sounds like Facebook is
That's
great.
one way to go, yeah.
So
Yeah.
look at social media. We're on Facebook,
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, you got a website too. I'm sure there's a place to apply, or at least learn about how to apply on your website and all that with Columbia Fire Department.
Yeah, ColaFire.net.
Okay.
And we have a big button on there that says apply here.
Right.
And the City of Columbia website has job opportunities.
Right.
Also, come to a firehouse. Come to the firehouse and talk to Chad.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
our firefighters, I think, are our best advocates.
I would agree.
1600 Laurel Street.
18.
1800 Laurel Street.
There you go. Thanks, guys, so much. God bless you. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.